me turn that down. All right, good morning, everyone. So we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. Actually, we're going to do a lot of recap, and we're going to do some C and D flat blues again. We're going to talk about the major scale, just making sure we know all of that. We're going to get some practicing done. So I did put a PDF in the description, and if you guys are already on my email list, I already sent this out to you guys this morning, and it basically has the five finger patterns and some simple blues related to that and a few other things. So let me see if I can pull that chart up as well for later. And I can actually blow it up on the screen whenever we use it. Let me do that. That'll work. All right, so maybe a good first warm-up would be just to do example one. As people are coming in the chat, make sure you like the video, say hello, and let's get going. So the first thing I like to do is just warm up. We're going to do C major. Again, we need to know our C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Be able to say it backwards as well, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. And why this is important is because whenever you play musical ideas going up and down, I like to be able to say C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. So I'm thinking about the notes going up and down. And the way we did that is by writing out our major scales. We start with C and do C, D, E, F, and you put a comma, G, A, B, C, and you practice it in rhythms, groupings of 4. So we're going to go C, D, E, F, comma, G, A, B, C. And then on the way back down, C, B, A, G, comma, F, E, D, C. So I practice the rhythm C, D, E, F, C, D, E, F. Then I go on to the G, A, B, C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Get those 4 note groupings. Then I put it all together, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Then on the way back down, I practice that, C, B, A, G, C, B, A, G. I get that, then I do F, E, D, C, F, E, D, C. And now I'll do the whole thing, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. And we do that on all of our major scales, and I promise you it'll make a difference. Okay, so here we go. Let me just warm up with the first example. Maybe chord notes. Scale. What we did yesterday was we did lots of 5-note patterns. We also did the C blues scale. Actually, I'll hold off on the entire blues scale right now. We'll just do the first 5 notes of the blues scale, which let me pull up the PDF. Again, if you guys already are on my email list, do not download it again so you won't get 2 emails from me. I already sent this out this morning. It's this PDF, and we see we're starting with the C 5-note pattern. So if you look up there, it's basically just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you guys know I like to teach shapes. So we do, you get your hand over each note, you press it down, boom, every note's covered. So whatever ideas you come up with, or I give you, either one, you can get some neat little improvisation with just these 5 notes. And it's a great exercise too. Just like a classical performer does major scales and hand-in exercises and things like that, this is great for your fingers. Sometimes as blues or jazz players, we can get to where we only practice right hand exercises, but it's good to practice all the fingers for the left hand as well. So this is a great example of one thing you can do. C, E flat, F, F sharp, G. So maybe put it in a little rhythm now. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and now I'm going to go back to my example, but I'm also going to do the pattern. You can also see where I've written it out. You have the first 5 notes, or you have the quarter note pulse there with the 5 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 against the quarter notes. Now I'm going to take it off the screen, and here we go. So we have this. We have the first example is just the 5 notes. And this is helping your fingers, but it's also helping your ear training to get familiar with those notes. But it's also, of course, helping your technique. And there's one other thing I was going to tell you that it helps. It helps the shape. It helps you form this particular shape. And I'm a big believer in shapes for ideas and getting your hands where they need to be so you can express yourself in lots of different ways. So here we go. Quarter notes in the left hand, and we're doing C, G to C, A. Now, how do I know it's C, G to C, A? It's the 1, 5 of the scale to the 1, 6 of the scale. And on the right hand, we're just going to do the automatic pilot. And notice where my right hand comes in. Whenever I go to the C, A, I'm on the F note. Watch this. Let me see who's calling in real quick. Uh-oh, it's my mom calling in. Hold on, guys. Hello. Hey. Working on that. Hey, I'm actually in a stream. Can I call you when I get done? Okay. All right, thanks. Bye. Here's what I know: when your mom calls, you have to answer. All right, here we go. We're getting that going. Automatic pilot. And we are going to transpose all of this to D flat, so just hang in there. I'm listening to all the sounds. Okay, let me go back to this PDF. I'm going to show you guys. Oh, 1 second. The PDF, we'll pull that up, and we have the third example down there is this idea that we did yesterday of C, E flat, C, F sharp, G, da da boom da. So it's still right out of the C 5-note blues scale. Boom da ba da 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 boom da. So notice the first part of it. Dum da boom ba da. Goes to the tritone up to the 5th of the scale of the C major scale, right? So 1 flat third of the major scale, and then back to the root, and then the tritone up to the 5th, the sharp 4, and then it goes da da ba da. So tritone 4, root minor third, da da ba da boom da ba da 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 ba da, and we'll do that in D flat here in a little while, okay? So let me go ahead and practice that for a minute. Boom, da, bo, da, 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 boom, da, boom, da, bo, da, da, boom, da. Now do the major blues lick. I go to the 4 chord, which is the 4 chord of the C blues is F, right? And whenever I go there, I can still play the C blues scale. That's what makes this so nice. Whenever you play the blues, whether it be jazz or whether it be or blues or in lots of different styles, you can use the same C major scale or the C blues scale over all of those chords. Yes, there's a little tension when I go to G, the 5 chord, and I'm playing this. I have this sound. In F, there's a little tension. Okay, so let's. What we're going to do now is just experiment with that. So look at this, the 4th example of the PDF. If you're just coming in now, there's a link to the PDF below, and if you're already on my email list, don't sign up again. Just go check your email because I already sent it out. The next lick, the 4th lick, is this. Let me turn where I can see it. Oh, it's on the and. 1 and 2. We talked about this yesterday. And all I'm doing is the and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And notice that I'm still in my shape. I'll call this shape 1. Okay, we're in the C blues scale first 5 note shape. So we have this. So just with the material right here so far, we have 3 examples. We have automatic pilot, where we just get the fingers going and listen to each note. And then the second example is boom da ba da 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 boom da. I want you to sing that out loud as you play it. Boom da ba da 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 boom da. Because what's really nice about that is, one, it fits right under the hand. The other thing that's really nice about it is that it accents some really neat notes in the blues scale. The flat 3rd, the sharp 4, and even the 4th note, which the 4th note and the sharp 4 are really nice together. So here we go. Let's mess around with that. We're gonna go boom da ba da 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 boom da bo da 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 bo da da da. Say something about singing along with whatever you're playing. Good morning, everyone who's just coming in. Make sure you like the video and say hello in the chat. We have yet to have anyone say hello in the chat, and I just want to make sure everything's working on my end. But when it comes to singing out loud, it's just really important to do that, because you're going to train your ear and your even your vocals to get better and stronger, and you don't have to be a singer to do this. But what you'll find is that as you sing along with what you play, you'll really start to get out the music that's in you. Like you may start with, I could say, hey, play this, boom da ba da 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 boom da, and you repeat that over, and then you say, you know what, I'm hearing this instead, boom da boom bo da 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 da. So you just go wherever your mind wants to go, right? Once you get used to singing out loud and playing along with, simple ideas and patterns, and you do repetition. Repetition is your friend. I always say that over and over. And then it starts to where you'll have this click where you're like, you know what? I feel like I want to go here, and you'll hear it. And that's part of the goal. And the other goals that we have are to transpose and to do all of this in all keys, which I really think that everyone can do. All right, you just have to know how to learn in different keys, right? You have to know how to do that. All right, let me put it back on me for a second. All right, so just with that knowledge that we've already done, let's just say you're sitting down at the keyboard for the first part of the day, and you're going to get your exercises in on the first 5 notes of the C blues scale. And today we're focusing on C and D flat again, but right now we're just working on C. And by doing this automatic pilot exercise, you're working the fingers, every single finger, right? And this is focused practice right now. I'm going to have to drink some water here in a minute. Now, just like the PDF, you're going to have quarter notes. Let's do that. in the C blues, and in all the courses that I have, we do a simple blues for the 3-volume series. We do the progression is C, F, and G for a C blues, right? 3 simple chords for a C blues, and we also teach that each lick you can technically play the F blues scale over the F chord, right? The first 5 notes. And when you go to the G chord, yes, you can technically play the G blues scale. So I teach all of those licks for the blues courses. I teach every lick on C, F, and G. But here's what I want you to know that's really, really important is that when you're playing a C blues, the main scale you will use is C blues. You don't always switch the chord and play that particular lick or scale. A lot of times it doesn't sound as good. It will work, but what I want you to do is learn, of course, you'll learn the C blues form, but I also want you to know that the C blues, when you're in C, even when you go to the F chord, it's going to sound great. So watch this. First 5 notes. When I go to the F chord, which is the 4 chord of a C blues, the 4th note of the scale, now that's the F chord, the notes really work. C is the 5th note of an F chord. E flat is your flat 7. And then you have your root, you have your flat 9 and your natural 9. So of an F chord, that is even the flat 9. Now when you go to G, that's the sus4 chord, this 4th note of a G scale. And then that would be like the flat 6 or the sharp 5, so there's a little bit of tension there. F note is the flat 7 of a G scale. That's the G sharp, the natural note of a G scale, and then that's the root of a G scale. So even though there's a little bit of tension, a little rub, it still works. So listen to this in context. I'll just do up and down. Now I'll go to F chord, listen. I'll go back to C. Go to G, F, C. Okay, so knowing these ideas and these examples over a C blues will get you through all of those chords. Okay, all right. So I'm once again back to my practice strategy for today. So I'm doing C and D flat. I'm still working on C, just getting warmed up. And so I've already played the first 5 notes, working out in the fingers. And now I'm going to go to the first example. And for those of you who are just joining in, it's this sheet we're working with, that the link is in the description. And look at the second example is just the bass line. The third example is this da ba da 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 ba da. And I really want you to spend time with this particular first lick of this sheet. And because we have our shape, right? We get into the shape, and you'll be able to do the same thing. I want you to get in the shape for D flat, just like you do with C. So I take my hand off, I go back, I'm still in the shape. But now I'm thinking about actual musical ideas. Boom, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da, boom, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da, boom, boom, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da, da, boom, boom, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da, da, boom, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da, da, boom, boom, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da, da. So even when I went to the F chord, I just wanted to show you how, yes, there's a little bit of tension there, but it still sounds good to me. It's a nice dissonance there, right? You're still playing that C blues. Boom, da, ba, doo, da, doo, da, boom, da, da, boom, da, ba, doo, da, 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 boom, da, da, boom, ba, da, ba, doo, da, 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 boom, da, da, boom, 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 boom. That kind of thing. Okay, so here are a couple of updates while other people are coming in. Hey, Vicky. It's good to see everybody. Let me see how many people we have in. Make sure, again, we had, I think, 20 likes before we stopped the stream yesterday, and we got a lot of practice in. It was really awesome, and lots of emails. And for those of you who may not know, we're in the middle of a 5-week course. For anybody who has my blues bundle, and there's a link, you can go to iMusicAcademy.com. If you're on my email list, you got the email that had the PDF this morning. But it's just a reminder that you can still get in on this thing that we're doing. It's if you get my bundle, which is like $42.99 right now, you get 3 volumes of the blues, all blues courses, and I also threw in the jazz, the easy jazz course, which actually complements the blues courses really well. But you get all the videos from Vimeo. They're all private, but you get those downloaded as well as sheet music to every single example. And the reason I ask people to get the bundle is because I had this practice group for everyone who has the bundle, and they each day we're going through Blues Volume 1 in this 5-week course that's free for anyone with the bundle, and we're on week 2. And they get a video every day, the first 4 days of each week, and it's 2 keys a day for each specific example. So, like for example 1, the very first week we did this. We did C. Actually, they do 3 keys a day, and then they did D flat, and then they did D major. Okay, so and then Tuesday they would get the next 3 keys, and so we're on week 2, and they're on day 4, of course, of week 2. So they're working on 2 different licks. They're working on this one, and they're working on this one. So we're doing that 3 keys a day for the 4 days. And next week we'll do the next 2 licks. The reason I ask people to get the bundle is for a couple of reasons. One is I don't want people to just buy my courses. That bothers me when people just buy them. I really want you to learn and dig in, and the courses in themselves take you through each lick. But there's something about a community and having people get involved, which I really, really like. And what I love about iMusic Academy is that we are building a family of people. I had 2 people sign up yesterday. A shout out to Dana and to Dave for getting in the group. And the day before that, Amelia got into the group. Now, this is not whether or not you're a member of iMusic Academy. I have private students and do all this stuff. I've just created this first group of, hey, get the bundle. Trust me on this, $42.99. If you were to take a private lesson with me, it would be $60 for 1 hour. And just like if I were to take a lesson from somebody else, I would pay them $60 an hour. And then, hey, Jeffrey, what's up, man? So for $42.99, you get everything. And not only do you get all the blues courses and the jazz course, but you get access to this group. It's the 5-week long thing. And you'll always have the videos that will take you through Blues Volume 1, practice in all keys, right? You have all of those videos. And the other thing is, before the course even started, I decided, hey, I want to start this group going for people who already have my blues bundle. And so I sent out a list, and we started getting people signing up. And so I've done 25 videos of live sessions for the private group before we even started the group. 25. And what made me inspired is this kind of family atmosphere that we're getting, and people are doing all kinds of things. I have people making backing tracks for us. Something kind of cool happened yesterday is that Kyle, one of our members, sent me the practice sheet of writing out all the scales, C, D, E, F, comma, G, A, B, C, and he wrote out the blues scales and things like that. So that's the kind of things that are happening. So Kyle's going to correct or add one thing to that PDF, and I'm going to send it out to the group. I will also send it out to everybody. So the last thing I'll say about this, whether or not you get the bundle or not, I still love to teach. I still love your support and everybody watching the videos. But I do promise you that if you get involved in this group, I think you'll be really happy with it. And lots of cool things are coming. We're about to do a left-hand only bass line thing. And I have one of our members that is, Kevin, is helping me put all my 21 bass lines together into the course in a particular order and everything. So things are happening, but I can only do it because of you guys, and thank you so much. So let's go back to actually playing some music. All right, so so you have the PDF, right? And let's just spend a little time with this one. Now, I could spend time on this for days, and we're about to go to D flat here in a little while, but here's what I want you to know is that it is really important for you to focus on these specific, simple ideas, right? You're digging in. Boom, da, bo, do, da, 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 boom, da, da, boom. Jeffrey's always and Vicky, they're both huge supporters of what we do and what we're doing here, and I absolutely love the feedback, the likes, the comments, the shares, everything. It really makes a difference. And I never thought I'd be the person that says, hey, like this video, but I do want you to like this video, because the more you like the video and you comment, the more it does truly help what we're doing here. And I have sort of a thing that I would love to happen, which is going to take years, is I eventually want to get well, I'll save it for a different time. Okay, here we go. My goal is to really build up iMusicAcademy so we can get lots of people practicing and doing some cool things. All right, here we go. So I'm spending time, I'm not just telling you to do it. This is the same way I would do it. Boom, da, boom, doo, da, doo, da, boom, da. So not only am I learning the notes, but I'm thinking about how each note sounds. Like, what is that? That's the minor third. Boom, da, boom. To the tritone, da, da, up to the fifth. So if I was in D flat, boom, da, boom, I got to get to that tritone, right? Boom, da, bo, da, 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 boom, da. Let me do that again. Boom, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da, da, dum. Boom, da, boom, da, da. So let me go back to C. Boom, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da, da, dum. Now, for you, those of you who already have the blues courses, you know that they go like this. Eighth note patterns in the left hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and boom, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da, da, dum. Boom, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da, da, dum. And 4 and 1. Right? There's so many different things, and every time you change it up just a little bit, even in the left hand, the bass line, it totally changes the feel of the lick, right? Thank you for the likes, guys, and thank you for the comments. All right, so let's do this. Let's now add another element that we added yesterday. We said you could take the Oscar Peterson idea, right? The Oscar Peterson very simple lick of 2 notes in the right hand and to a single note. And what is that particular lick here? I'm going to the 4th note of the C scale, which is F, and then the root on top, okay? So then I'm going down to my thumb for the minor third. Da, da, da. So notice what I'm doing. 2, 5 to 1. So let's say if I'm just playing this lick. Boom, da, bo, da, 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 boom, da, da, boom, bo, da, bo, da, boom, bo, da, bo, da, da. Again. Boom, da, bo, da, 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 boom, da, boom, bo, da, bo, da, boom, bo, da, bo, da, boom. So by focusing on this, I hope you can already see what's happening. It's like we're getting rid of the noise of practicing, right? You could go, right now, I could pull up 1,000 videos that are way more involved and better, I'm sure, than what we're doing now in terms of like information. But there's something about being able to focus in on simple information so that we can really get to the next level of wherever we are. Right? If you're a beginner, absolutely a beginner, I want you to get this shape. I want everybody to get this shape. And I want you to just practice going up and down. I can literally teach somebody who's never played in their life this in 5 minutes, right? And I say, just press down, press down, press down. And then I'll even start playing along with them the bass line, or put on a simple backing tracks and show people that they can do this and get their hand in the shape, and then they could practice this. Boom, down, down, boom, down, down, right? Boom, down, down, boom, down, down, boom, down, down. All right, so let's go back to that simple lick. Boom, da, bo, da, 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 boom, da, da, dum, da, dum. Now I'm going to do that with the Oscar Peterson is the only thing I'm going to do with that. I'm either going to do that lick or I'm going to do the Oscar Peterson fingers 2, 5 to 1. Boom, da, bo, da, 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 boom, da, da, boom, da, bo, da, boom, da, bo, da, dum. And then leave a little space. Boom, da, 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 boom, da, da, dum, da, boom, da, boom, da, 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 da. Now, if I go to the F chord for a minute, and I'm just changing the bass line F and C to F and D, right? 1 and 5 of an F scale to 1 and 6 of an F scale. But I'm going to keep this the same. Da, 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 da. Well, why does that work? Because that's just the root of an F chord. The C is the 5 of an F chord. And then there's my flat 7 of an F chord. So that's why that works. Da, 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 da. Even over C. Da, 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 da. And even over G, watch this. What is that over G? Well, it's the 11th note of a G scale, the sus, the suspended sound, to a flat 7, and then the sharp 5. Hey, Patty. All right, now let's do a review. We're going to show you again how to use just this PDF, right? And we are literally just getting started. If you don't have the PDF, I think it's important to say this. If you don't have the PDF, you can sign up for our email list where I give free tips all the time. If you are already on my email list, I sent this out to everyone this morning, but I'm just showing you. Let me just see. We've had some people sign up since we started. Yeah, okay. Just making sure that that link is working. Okay. So the first thing we did is we warmed up, first 5 notes of blues scale, and then we said you can do automatic pilot, so you get into that C shape. And remember that we are going to transpose this into D flat, so hang in there. And then we're just spending time going up and down. The second example has a boom, da, ba, da, 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 boom, da, da. And the third thing, which I don't think is in the on the PDF, but it's just that Oscar Peterson lick simple idea, and it's just F, C to E flat. And you could do all kinds of different rhythms for that. So boom, da ba da 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 boom da da dum ba da ba da bum ba da ba da. I'm going to go to the F chord. Boom da ba da 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 boom dum da boom da ba da bum ba da ba da. I'll go to G. Boom da ba da da ba da ba da bum. Let me do that again. So I'll go G. Boom da ba da da F. Da da boom da da dum ba da ba da bum ba da ba da da dum. Okay? And the other thing, the very next lick in there is this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And notice that once again my hands are right over the notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and da 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 da. Let's say if I'm just doing that, and da 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 da. My hands are over the notes. Let's hear how that sounds over F. What if I was in D flat? Right? we'll go back to C because I want to really teach D flat again as a reminder, right? Or just repetition is your friend. Here we go. Doing this for days. Maybe down to the B flat. Maybe Oscar Peterson lick. Now G, here we go. Again. Now I'm hearing Oscar Peterson lick. Okay, now let's add another lick from the sheet. Let's do that. And we will do all of this in D flat. So stand by. Okay, the next one we'll do is, I need to change it over here. I'm sorry, that's my fault. I'm going to change it right there. Okay, the next one down is the idea of using the A blues scale. If you see that one, it's the same thing. Listen to, let me switch the camera again. Is that we did this. Now listen. The reason that works, let's go over that again, is the C blues scale is going to work, right? We know that. First 5 notes of the C blues scale. The cool thing about that is that you go down 3 half steps and now you're on the A blues scale. The first 4 notes of the A blues scale are going to sound great over C blues. Why? Because this A note is the 6th note of the C scale, and that's just a really cool note for the blues, right? So you have this. Let's analyze that. So that's the 6th note of a C scale, root of a C scale, the 2nd note of a C scale, and that's your minor 3rd of a C scale. So there's our bluesy note right there. And all we're doing is taking the same rhythm down to A. So it doesn't matter what key I'm in. I'll go to D flat for a second. And there's the first notes. Now I'm going to go down 3 half steps and do the first 4 notes of the B flat. I'll go back to C and just remind you that as we're practicing these simple ideas and these simple strategies, the goal is to get familiar with these so you can play them in any key, right? And that's when the confidence is going to come in, and you'll really love being able to be in whatever key and playing blues with your friends or on stage somewhere or whatever. Okay, so here we go. We're going to add the A blues scale, the first 4 notes, to our practice session, right? We're going to go. And you just spend time on that. I'll start at the top. Just getting the sound in my head. All right, here we go. We're going to do all of them together. Here we go. Just getting the automatic pilot going. Let's do that again. So what I did right there is I did the Oscar Peterson, and then I just did C minor over that, which is all once again part of the blues scale, right? There's that C blues pattern. Oscar Peterson for a minute. Automatic pilot. One and two and I'm gonna practice a little bit slower. And two and the automatic pilot. Here's the first lick. Oscar Peterson. That's like the third lick. Which is the same thing starting on A. All right, what did I do right there? So this is part of the the C blues scale, but it's the next part of the blues scale. So a C blues scale has C, E flat, F, F sharp, G, B flat, and C, and then it starts over on C. But I like this pattern right here, G, B flat, C, and E. So think about this as the blues scale goes up, but I also want you to think of this as a 4-note shape. You can go up and down with it, and you can do it down an octave or up an octave. So what I'm doing right now is, let's say, regardless of which lick I'm doing, it could be Oscar Peterson, it could be the first 4 notes, it could be this one, or it could be down here. Right? All right. Now, tell me, it's okay, I'm not going to adjust the settings right now, but I definitely want to know if you guys are having trouble with the volume right now. Okay, so now I'm going to add just this 4-note pattern as another shape. We'll call this shape 2, right, getting right there. So you had shape 1, first 5 notes of blues scale. Shape 2 is the second part of the blues scale. So here we go. We're going to start with just any of them. I'm getting that repetition in, right? right? Shape 2. So you can mix that up in all kinds of different ways, right? And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 on my fingers. 1 and 2, ding, ding. Now, if you wanted to, you could start the blues scale over, and now you're an octave up, right? So you could do boom da ba da 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 boom da da dum da 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 da. Right? All right, now let's review before we go to D flat. This will be the last thing we'll do for right now before we go to D flat, and then we still have tons of other licks on this PDF. Okay, so let's go over the fingering for the entire blues scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumb comes under, and then you have fingers 3 and 4 on B flat and C. So C, E flat, F, F sharp, G, B flat, and C. Okay, and what I want you to do, so you have all these simple patterns, but then I want you to experiment with the blues scale, and don't worry about it sounding just like a blues scale, because there's so many different ways you can turn it around. Okay, here we go. Let's just practice with the blues scale. Again. What did I do there? I did a triplet, like 1 and then 2 and then I went down to the blues scale, which is 4. Always make sure you get that F sharp. You get the 4th finger on the F sharp. So then when you go up, see how it's just in 2 shapes. Shape 1, shape 2, and that's your blues scale. And then you have that minor third on top, which sounds really nice. The flat third of a C major. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. Now I like connecting the blues scale. So I may start at the top. Now what is that? That's shape 2 down here. If you guys get that, put I understand or something in the chat. Make sure you guys are with me. And anybody who else comes in, we think we have this sound figured out. It may be a little low for now, but we'll get it figured out. I'm actually a friend of mine is an expert, and I always try I'll give him like $30 for his time, and he'll help me adjust this and get it right. So thank you for your patience in this. I just can't stand the distortion because I have a really nice plug-in. It's just not for some reason the stream part of it's distorting. So okay, all right, here we go. So see, now we have this shape 2 of the blues scale. Shape 1, shape 2, and all these are great. And now you're going to spend time connecting those. So you have the full blues scale, you have shape 1, and then you have shape 2. And now I'm going to mix and match that as I'm practicing my scale. So I'm practicing my scale for movement so that I can use it as connecting my ideas, right? And you'll start to notice that with a blues scale, if you're just playing this blues scale up and down right now is a good thing, right? Because you're building up confidence, you're building up your finger dexterity and moving around, and then you'll start to make more melodies out of it. Okay, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and right, just up and down. Make sure you're singing along. Maybe I start at the top of that. I went down the B flat, right? 2 and 3 and 4. Went down and back up. So watch this. What did I do there? I went down into shape 2. I was messing around with the first example and went down the B flat, and it set me up perfectly for the next shape. So at that time I went so it's shape 2, but I just went I kind of like that. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 4 and 1. That time I went shape 2, so shape 2 leading into shape 1 with that F sharp on 4th finger. That time I went all the way down in the B flat. Shape 1, shape just B flat, and it gets me back into shape 2. Watch that. Watch this. So I go shape 1, shape 2, shape 1, here we go. One and 2. See what I'm doing now? I'm connecting ideas, and I'm going to actually practice a little bit slower so it's not confusing for anybody. Okay, so now I'm going to do a review again. We started off by doing the first 5 notes of the blues scale, and then what did we do? We said, okay, you can add the bass, and work on that for a little while, and then we added one idea. Boom, da, bo, da, 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 bo, da, da, da. Okay, and then we added the second lick is the and of 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and bo, da, 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 bo, da. Then we said, all right, well, let's put this little Oscar Peterson lick in there. F, C, so the 4th note of a C major scale to our root to our minor 3rd, right? Da, da, da. I'm using fingers 2, 5, and 1. And when I went, that's just C minor chord over that. Arpeggiated, right? So I'll do any one of those 4 ideas. Here we go. So that's just shape 1. Here's the first lick. Here we go. Even when I went to F, all that's going to sound good. Right? Oscar Peterson. Alright, the next thing we did is we said, okay, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 from shape 1, but then you can go down from the C to the A, right? The A is the relative minor of C major, the blues scale, and so now we have the first 4 notes of the blues scale. All different kinds of ways you can even turn just those 4 notes around. Okay, so to stay focused, we're going to do this, the first lick, or the second lick, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, or the third lick is the same thing on A. And again, the reason that sounds good is because you're using the 6th note of a C scale, which always sounds really good, and 6th note, root, 2nd note, and the minor 3rd, which is our blue part of the blues scale, right? Da, 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 da. And then we did this lick. We did this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. This, the Oscar Peterson thing. And then the last thing we added was the blues scale. So you have this. The fingering is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. And at the top, we have shape 2. So the blues scale can start over, and you can keep going up and down the keyboard and making sure your F sharp always has the 4th finger. So shape 2 is the 2nd half of the blues scale. 1st half, 2nd half. And notice that when I went up there to that shape, I didn't have to do anything, right? Just automatically, my fingers are hovering over each note. Okay? So let me just experiment now with a time of taking the scale, a scalular approach. I need to drink some water. Scalular, say it 10 times. Approach of connecting the ideas, right? Because shape 1 and shape 2 are, they work really well together, right? It's just part of the scale. And if you think of it in terms of a shape 2 and a shape 1, watch what happens if I practice this really slowly. So I'll do 1 and 2 and 3. That's shape 2 to shape 1. I'm just right in that shape. Shape 1, here we go. I just played the scale coming down. Shape 2. Scale, and I went back up just a little bit, scale coming down. Now I'm gonna pretend like I'm coming down, scale, but I'm gonna go up. Just the scale going up. And I'm just doing triplets right now, right? 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then if I could do 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or chord notes. All those notes are gonna work. Shape 2. Now right there I did a triplet, 1 and then 2 and then, but then I went to 8th notes, 1 and da 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 da, 3 and 4 and 1 and then 2 and then 3 and 4 and. Now I'm going to go on slow motion practice. Let me talk about that for just a minute. I always tell everyone slow motion practice is one of the best ways to find yourself and find your own music, because if our fingers are just constantly like playing really fast and we're not really using our brains, right? When we really connect with the music that is inside of each one of us, you play really slowly, you start to figure it out, and you're training your ear, right? Even just this. Da, bo, da, da. You're training your ear right now to hear those notes, and to wherever your mind will start to take you places. Like you may go boom, da bo da 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 da. So I'm thinking really slowly, and those things start to come. Like I'm not thinking ahead. I'm thinking right along with the music because I practiced this scale, right? We get these scales and we start flowing with it, and then you start hearing the scale coming down. Dee da 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 boom, da bo da da. Now listen to the difference. Be da 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 boom, da bo da da. Right? So just by hearing the difference between the F sharp da and da da. So let me do those again. Dee da 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 boom, da bo da da. That's the F natural. Da bo da da. So maybe I'll practice that for a minute. Be da do 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 da boom, da bo da da. Listen to the difference. Dee da 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 boom, da bo da da. And then I'll go to F. Dee da 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 boom, da bo da da. Dee da 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 bum 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 bum. See, then I was just hearing, oh, let's go down. Dum dum dum. Now I'll play the G. Dee da 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 da. I'm hearing the scale again. Dee da 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 da. Now I'm hearing the third at the top. Dee da 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 da. All right, let me just break that down really quickly. Because we practiced our scale and we're practicing it going down, I was hearing dee da 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 da, and because I'm practicing slowly, dee da 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 da, and then I even over the G, even over the F, dee da do da do da do. Now listen to this. Be ba do 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 do. Again, I could hear the flat third up there wanting to improv on that. So even though I'm playing a scale, still making some music out of that. All right, thank you for the likes. Thank you for the 7 people that are watching right now, and thank you for to all the people who put up with that little gap we had of trying to figure out some sound issues. I'm still not there. I'm going to hire my friend out to help me with this stream. And I will do that after the stream. Okay, I want to make sure this is making sense to you guys, and then we're going to go to D flat in a few minutes. Awesome, Jeffrey. Always great to hear from Jeffrey. Okay, here we go. These scales, isn't that nice when you start to get that under your fingers, and then you get it in your ear, and then you can make up all kinds of things. And thinking about the scales are a great way to connect your ideas. So we still have our licks and our ideas. You guys have that PDF. I hope that all of you have downloaded that. Again, if you're on my email list, you can go grab that. But let me do a quick practice on all of this material, and then we'll go to D flat and mess around with that. We will keep it fairly simple in D flat. Okay. I'll just start using those 4 ideas, and then I'll also use the scales to connect it. Okay, and make sure you're singing along with this. I want to make sure that with your own practice, sing along, because it doesn't matter if you're a singer or not, you will continue to get better, and it'll really help your ear and your musicality. So here we go. I'm hearing that Oscar Peterson. I'm gonna do that again. Boom, dam, da, da, boom, da, da. Oscar Peterson. Da, 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 da. Again, even over the G. Da, da, boom, da, 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 da. So even right there, when I did that little walk up, I had the shape 2 already in my mind, right? So here we go. Boom, da, ba, da, 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 boom, da, 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 da. Example 2. Ba, da, 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 ba, da, da, da. Even on G, I'm listening to that tension. Ba, da, 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 da. I went down to the major third, so I cheated there. and then I'll do on G. Oscar Peterson, here we go. Scale coming down. Here we go. Just thinking shape 1 right now. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, so let me look at a couple other things that are on that PDF real quick. If you have the PDF somewhere on your computer, just put it in the chat that you actually received it from the email list this morning or you've downloaded it. There it is. Okay. No, that's not it. 1 second. There it is. Okay. So on this PDF, as you keep going down, you see that tritone idea, and I have let's see. That works. I also like, let's see. I like that too. So you can go. Let's just stay with that for now. I think that's what I have. Let's see. Okay, so I would break this down into 2 licks. It's part 1. The second part is just let's mess around with that for a minute. The reason I did a simple lick like this is that tritone feel, right? It's such an important idea of the tritone. Let's see. It's just such a neat sound. Alright, here we go. Even this is teaching us a lot here. It's teaching us of the sound of the tritone, which has a lot of tension there, but it's good tension. And then you go to the minor third, but also you have that octave spread. Notice that I'm still keeping my pinky up there, right? It's kind of shocking, right, to go there. Let's see. Make sure I'm caught up on the chat. All right, thank you. We have 9 likes. I think we're going to get to 20. It might take all day, but we'll get there. Okay, so if we're going to add this, remember think of this in 2 sections. Second section. What happens on F? right, so I'm only going to use, I'm not just going to sit for days and play that one lick. I'm not going to be like, because there's a lot of tension there, but it might be nice to kind of just do every now and then. Let's see what happens with the Oscar Peterson idea. Okay, that works. Let me do it again. So that time I was hearing, because I hit that F sharp, has that tension there. Then I went I just thought, well, since I hit that, might as well just own it, right, and keep doing it. So sorry. Just the scale, right. All right, here we go. Let's do first exercise. So just shape one, right? And this is supposed to be kind of like an exercise right now. Okay, now the scale just going up and down. All right, now I'm in shape 2 right here. Now what am I doing right there? I'm either doing the shape 2 down here or up there. I'm just listening to the sound, the different sounds of going back and forth, right? Okay? Or I'm connecting the scale. Now, I think it's important to say a couple of things related to the licks that we're doing right now, even on this beginner thing. We're not even addressing the minor third, the major third right now, which is just as important as the minor third, right? So we've been doing, we have played it on the C blues lick when you do right here. You go minor third to major third, right? But what I want you guys to know is, within this particular blues volume 1, you do address the major third as well, because it's so important. Like, for instance, I could do just a very simple triplet and you hear the minor third and major third, right? So you have major third there. But here's another thing. The 10th example of Blues Volume 1 has the major third up to the root, right? Down to the 9th and the flat 7. So listen to this. That's the lick. So and you could keep going. So there are all kinds of things you can do with that. Now, on the actual lick of example 10 is pretty simple. It's just but you see where we address the major third, which is really important. So now I'm just going to skip ahead to example 10 just to show you what I mean by using the major third as well. So we have example 1, which has it. There's the minor third. See what I did there? I just major third, major third, major third. Scale, sort of, chromatic, again. Major third, major third. I'll stay major third. Again. Major third. Here comes a major third. Major third. Major third. So that lick, it comes from Blues Volume 2, right? And that's major third. Anytime you're on that lick, it's major third. Okay, so do you guys see what's happening here, or do you understand what's going on? One more practice session, and we're going to go to D flat and do these simple ideas. Okay, let's get to 10 likes, and then we'll switch keys. Okay. In the meantime, I'm just going to go over this practice strategy again for myself. I'm going to do just the licks that are on the PDF and just practice very simple and intentional of how we're practicing. Scale coming down. All right, here we go. Here's the first lick. Boom, da, ba, da, 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 boom, da, da, da. Oscar Peterson. Ba, da, ba, da, da. Again, that lick. Boom, da, ba, da, 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 boom, da, 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 ba, da, 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 ba, da, 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 da. To the major third just for fun. Now I'm going to do this. Major scale coming down, or sorry. Two and three. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and dee da 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 bum dee da 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 Now, for those of you who are in the course, you're on day 4 of transposing licks. Hold on, let me get this right. Licks 3 and 4 in all keys this week, right? Today's the last day for this week. And the licks we're doing for anybody who's not enrolled in the course, again, it's a free course for anybody who has my bundle, not blundle, my bundle. It's like $42.99 right now. And you get so much material. Watch the beginning of the of the stream and or even read my emails or whatever, you get so much material, it's ridiculous. But the licks that we're doing, I'll just show you guys. So the third example is the sixth lick. So you have dee da 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 da, and we're learning that in 3 keys today, right? 3 different keys. And I've already sent out the videos and everything. Anybody who joins, you will immediately get access to all 3 blues volumes, the jazz chorus. You get access to the member group. We're at 32 now, thanks to the 2 people who signed up yesterday. And then you also get the like 25 videos or whatever I did before the course even started. It's so much material, but it's still focused material, so you won't get overwhelmed with that. All right, so we did that lick, which is a great lick for understanding how the 6th note works in the blues, just like you do. Oh, we're already at 10. We're about to go change keys. So listen, the other lick that they're learning this week is the octave of octave, flat 7, 6, flat 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's, you get into shape 1 by doing this. I call this like a lick exercise because it helps you really understand the notes that sound really good with these blues ideas. Like if you have a C7 chord, octave's going to work great. Flat 7, how do you find the flat 7 of any note? Just go down a whole step, right? 6th note always sounds good. The flat 6 or sharp 5, let's call it a flat 6, and then you're into the first 5 notes of the blues scale. Notice that my hand automatically gets into that shape. So check this out. Or I could do this. So just this 6th lick that we're learning in all keys this week is that they have this, and then that can transition right into this other shape of using that 6th note, right? So if I was just going to do those 2, maybe Oscar Peterson to break it up. Maybe I'll do the 3rd lick. Again, and 4. Watch this. Now let me do that, the exercise, the lick exercise. Here we go. A 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So if for my more advanced people, some of the other licks, bass lines we've done 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. It should go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, let's do D flat. Let's go to D flat. Who's ready for D flat? Let's get some D flats in the comments. I like how it says I started streaming 8 minutes ago, which is kind of hilarious because we've been streaming like an hour and something. And it's kind of scary at the same time. Awesome. We have 11 people in the chat. You guys are awesome. I hope that you have enjoyed this so far. We're not done. We're about to go to D flat, but I need about 3 people to put D flat in the chat so we know that we're ready to go transition. All right, D flat. A few more people. All right, we'll go ahead and start talking about D flat, but I need some interaction in this chat. You guys are my faithful people, and right now Vicky's the only one chiming in, so let's do it. I want to know how your practice week has been going, and also, just real quickly, as I get the emails, I'm noticing that with the people who are in the group, we have 32 people in the group, and there's about half of the people that are really practicing and really getting into this and focusing, and their feedback helps me figure out how we move forward as we go through this. If I need to change something in the course, I will, our practice course. But so far it's working really well, but there's also half of the people that are kind of practicing, and there's another part of them that are just turning on the things and listening, which I absolutely really love. Peter is one of the examples. He turns it on and just listens, and I love it because you're soaking it all in, because you not only hear me practice, but you also hear me talk about the keys and going up and down. The reason I decided to do C and D flat again was not because I wanted to do it, is because I wanted to show you guys the power of repetition. But as we go to D flat and work on this stuff, it's going to really start to really sink in. All right, so D flat major, we have to learn our major scale. So D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, and D flat. Our fingering is 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, and this is important because as we transpose licks, I want you to be able to know the numbers of the D flat major scale, so that if I say, okay, go give me the 1, 3, and 5, you're able to put your fingers right there, 1, 3, and 5 on the D major scale, D flat major scale, and you're going to hammer on the D flat major scale. And what's so important about this is because if you know this fingering and you get this fingering, a lot of my students have trouble with this because they haven't practiced it. And we are working on that. We're getting people comfortable in all keys. Now, if you know this fingering, and you know this fingering, the slide key, so you have a slide key or a hammer-on key, you can play this in all keys. D is a hammer-on key. E flat is a slide key. E is a hammer-on. F is slide. F sharp is hammer-on. You get the idea, right? And the reason I can do this is because I've practiced this over and over. I understand what it takes to hammer on a key and to get your hand in the right shape, right? So as we do this together, and I'm showing you guys exactly how I would do it. So right now, we're tackling C and D flat. Now, for my members that are in the course, even though you have every day you're getting 4 days a week, you're getting 3 keys on each lick, I don't expect everyone to get this right away in all keys, okay? it's maybe unrealistic for most of the people in the group, but you'll always have the videos so as you spend time in D flat, even now, I bet you that you guys are already getting more comfortable with it because we talked about it yesterday and we practiced licks and ideas in D flat. So now let's do this. Let's get very basic for a second in D flat. And those that are coming in, make sure you like this video. I normally would not ask for likes, but I've started to notice the importance of algorithms. I mean, I've always known that, but I've always hated to have to ask somebody to like a video. If you enjoy the content, like it, because I really think we're building a really neat community here, and it's pretty awesome. So it's awesome on my end of working with you guys, is what I should say. Okay, so C major, we just have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the blues scale, right? So 1, flat third of the major scale, 4, sharp 4, and 5. And then for C sharp, or D flat we're calling it, we're going to need the same thing. I need 1, and normally have a natural third. I need 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, and 5 of the D flat major scale. So with my fingering, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My left hand finger is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So even that right there is a great example of how you can survive. Not only survive, you can thrive in D flat. You get this as a shape. This is your new shape 1 of the day, right? Sing along with just that. You're doing a bunch of things. You're training your ear in D flat, but you're also working your muscles for every single finger. Now, how do I know which bass line to use? Well, I'm going to use root 5th and root 6th of D flat. So I'm going to spend time here getting on this shape, and I want to also practice getting up into the keys and getting in that shape. To play D flat, it's a little different of a shape, isn't it, than C? C is back here, get your fingers over each note, but D flat, you're up into the keys a little bit. And what I like for people to know is that once you get that shape, again, all of those notes of the D flat scale are going to work, okay? So we're going to practice working our fingers in both hands. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put that with the bass line. Sing along. All right, what would here's your trivia. What would the 4 chord of a D flat blues be? Anybody? Somebody put that in there. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is we're going to work on the first lick that is on the sheet, but now we're going to transpose it to D flat. So we had this. Bo da bo da da. So as I'm looking at that and I'm about to transpose it, we know it's a 1 flat 3 to sharp 4 as a tritone. So as you transpose it, you get that minor third, bo da bo, and now you have da da. There's my tritone. Boom da bo da 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 boom da. So you talk about a great exercise just to train your ear, right? You have, that's right, G flat is the 4 chord of D flat blues, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Boom da 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 boom da boom da bo da da da. So same thing, boom da ba da 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 boom da 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 bo da da bo da da bo da da boom da 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 bo da da boom. All right, now let's add one thing to this. Okay, we have this. Boom da bo da 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 bo da da da. Now we're gonna add the Oscar Peterson lick. I think we'll start here. Okay, so how do you find that Oscar Peterson lick? Remember, in C major, you go to the 4th note of the scale, and you go to the root. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing on D flat. 4th note and our root. And now you go down to the minor third, just like we did. It's going to be the same fingering. All right, now I'm going to practice visualizing getting F sharp and C sharp to my E natural. Everybody good on that? I get that shape down so I can just go right to it, just like I did with C. Sorry. Okay, now we're going to put the scale with it. Okay, so let's first do the scale up and down. Da, da, up and down. Now my fingers are looking for the F sharp and C. All right, now let's do the lick. Here we go. This is the first lick that's on your PDF. Boom. Da ba da 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 boom da da boom da ba da 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 da. Again. Boom da ba da 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 boom da da boom da ba da 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 da. All right, now the next lick on the sheet is this. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, right? So in the key of C, what's happening? 1 and 2 and so your root, minor third, up to the tritone, and then you go back to the minor third, up to the fourth and the root, and end on the minor third. Can we spend time here? Now I'm going to slow it down. Now Oscar Peterson. Now, when I was in the key of C, I did this, Oscar Peterson, and I said you can go da ba da 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 da, just do a C minor. So as we're in D flat, I'll do a D flat minor. So I did da 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 ba da 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 da. So we have this. Let me silence this call for 1 second. Okay, so here we go. So we're in D flat. Here we go. Or this 1. Okay, so what's the four? Vicky already said it. The 4 chord of D flat is G flat. Now, how do we figure that out? We know the D flat major scale now, right? D flat, E flat, F, G flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th note of D flat is G flat. Okay, so as we do that, here's what we're going to do is I'm going to keep this same pattern over the G flat scale. Now I'm gonna do G flat, D flat to G flat, E flat. So we have this. I'm gonna slow it down. Now, how do I know the 5 chord of a D flat scale? I'm gonna go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's A flat. You can always find the 5. This is a little easy tip. You can always find the 5th note of a D flat scale, or the 5th chord of your blues, by going to the 5th note of the triad. So what I mean by that is if we're in C, C, E, G, and I say, all right, 1 chord of a C blues is C, and you could count up the scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 4 chord is F, and then G is the 5 chord, the 5th note of the scale. But also of your triad, 1, 3, 5, the 5 chord is always the top note of your triad, so G. So as I go to D flat, I can easily say D flat, F, and A flat, so my thumb on top. So if I'm thinking in terms of a very simple blues with this simple pattern, listen to this. 2, 3, 4, G flat, and back to D flat, A flat. Okay, so we could go boom da ba da 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 boom da da boom da boom da da boom da boom da da boom. All right, so to play in D flat, there are a couple other things that we're going to talk about simple things, just like we did in C. So we did the 5-note blues scale, shape 1. We also said the trick you can do is to go down 3 half steps, and now you're on the A minor, first 4 notes of that blues scale. But if you're in D flat, you go down 3 half steps and you're on B flat. So that first 4 notes of the B flat minor blues scale, and you're good to go. So you have this. You have this that you could use. Now listen, if I start that on B flat. Again. Right? Now let's go over 1 or 2 more things, and then we'll go back to C, because I said this yesterday, but if you guys spend time on a key that you're not as good at, in this case D flat, and you start to feel overwhelmed, well, that's a sign that you either need to take a break or you need to go back to C. I always say go back to a comfortable key so that you stay motivated, right? I don't want you to get frustrated with any of this. That's why we're doing these simple patterns in C, right? I want to make sure you own that. And then I want you to learn the same simple shapes in D flat. Okay, so I want to make sure you know the D flat blues scale fingering. And this is like a, hold on, because this is going to be a life-changing, well, not a piano-changing moment, is that if you look at your D flat blues scale, right? Our notes are 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, flat 7, and 1 of the major scale, but watch my fingering. 1, 2, 3. So C, D flat, E, G flat, G. 1, 2, 3, 1. And then I do 2, 3, 4. The only time, this is the important thing, the only time I change the fingering is when I'm going up the octave. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then guess what? I start over with my thumb. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I could go all the way up and down the keyboard with 1, 2, 3 on D flat, which is really cool. The next thing is when you get to the top note, you're going to use 4. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I use 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. Okay, and that's super important. So I want you to spend a little time on the D flat blues scale, even if you can do 1 octave. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you would spend time doing this. Now, if I wanted to go up to the second shape, remember that this is the first shape. The second shape is just like in C, 5, flat 7, root, minor third, okay? 5, flat 7 of a C major, root, and minor third. And watch this. 5, flat 7, root, minor third of D flat major. Now, by just playing this second shape, A flat, B, D flat, and E. 1, 2, 3, 5 is my fingering. You have this cool shape. Or you have down here, you have, or this shape. Listen. Or I could use this. Let's try that again. And now A flat. All right, let's do a review, then we're going back to C. So the first thing is we did the first 5 notes. And this is a great practice strategy, guys. I promise you. You spend time in C and in D flat. Now you're working the fingers and you're working your ear. So spend time doing that. I'm playing it faster and going through it way quicker than I would if I was actually practicing this. All right, so you get that going, and then you're going to put the quarter notes with it. 2 and 3 and 4 and and okay, then we did this lick. We just transposed this from C. Right? And the other thing we did is we said the D flat major scale. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to practice that going up and down. And then we did the second shape, just like we did the first shape. Okay, let me go back to C major, and let's do something different. Let me see if I can pull up a track from YouTube, and we'll just jam along with it with just these concepts, okay? Let's, while I'm pulling this track up, and it won't take long, let's get, if you're just not coming in, make sure you like this video. We're trying to get to 20 likes again, or maybe 21. We would beat yesterday's record. And then let's do, a few more people just say hello in the chat when you come in. All right, here we go.
The way I see me.
Not as a criminal, but a kid.
All right, I'm slowing this track down just to see what happens. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stay in C and just kind of do the scale warming up. Just kind of up and down, whatever you're feeling. Maybe both hands. And let me know about the volume if it's balanced. Here we go. Boom, da, ba, da, 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 da. That'd be a good one to practice just for a minute. Boom, da, ba, da, 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 boom, da, da, boom. 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. Boom, da, 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 boom, da, da, da. 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and ready. Boom, da, ba, da, 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 da. 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Kind of ended on the tritone. Again. That's just shape 2, right? Alright, let's do the first example again. Now we're going to add the Oscar Peterson idea. Here we go. Again. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Two, three, 2 and 3 and more, and 1, 2 and 3. Let me see if I can find that blues shuffle. Let's see what this does.
Don't book a cheap hotel. Two, three, four, 1, 2. This will work. How about the A? I ended on the major third, just scale coming down, right? Just the scale coming down. Up to the F. So I'm just on shape 2, right? All those notes work. I can play them high or low. Connecting to shape 1. Let's do that tritone idea. I see. Again. Let's do.
So that's an example, guys, real quick, of how you can just keep changing things up just to kind of find something that works. Oh, hold on, I just pulled up 1,000 windows. Try it again. So like one thing I did is I said, all right, here's the lick we did earlier, and this on the PDF. And then I said, well, it'd be cool to do this. And then I said, it'd be cool to do this. Or, and then I said, it'd be cool to do this. I like that. How about this? There's shape 2. Now that's a different. That. Alright, now. So this is kind of cool. Is that I just turned the Oscar Peterson lick instead of that I did, or to a little triplet fill there, and that was inspired by that. Stop that for a second. I'm going to speed it up because I want to listen to the sound of those. Again. Again. 4, 1, 2. What I'm doing there is hammering on F sharp to G. Again. All right, let me do the lick that's written on your paper. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's kind of fast, but I kind of like it, so I'm just going. I don't know, I kind of like that. Here's that first lick. So notice, I hope that you guys notice something really quickly, is that, thank you for the likes, by the way. We're going to get to 20 and then we'll call it a day. So if you want me to be done, just keep liking the video. Okay, that sounds really strange. All right, so I want to tell you guys something about this. What we're doing is that even though I'm playing blues licks, they work over jazz and vice versa, right? That's why I included in the blues bundle, I included the jazz course, because I'm telling you, it's a really cool, easy course, and it works perfect with the blues, okay? So let's just say I'm showing you how you get to where you develop your own ideas. On your PDF that you have, you see it's F sharp, C to E flat, okay? And we're normally working on blues. I just happen to pull up a jazzy kind of track, okay? So here we go. Here is the lick that's written down. It's just E flat, sorry. Blues or jazz, that's going to sound great. And then I said, well, it'd be cool to kind of hammer on to that G. So let's say I was just going to do those two, and I go. And then I said, well, let's make a triplet. So and then I said, well, why don't we do this? Kind of weird, but kind of cool. And then I said, okay, well, we had this idea. Let's see how that sounds with the Oscar Peterson idea, right? So you have this. Now, Oscar, tritone. And then, or, now, all right, let's talk about what I did there. I have to stop this. Okay. So if you guys have listened to Oscar Peterson a lot, he would use the tritone a lot. Like a lot of times we would do the arpeggios and things with both hands using this sound. So you've heard that a lot. It's just C, F sharp, C going up. And then you can get some really cool sounds by just playing it in one octave, right? So what I just did there in sort of the spirit of Oscar Peterson, I was thinking about the tritone and then a little Oscar Peterson type lick. And then I said, okay, well, since I started doing the triplet there and just letting it kind of breathe and groove and figure it out, what started out as this turned into, and then I went to the Oscar Peterson lick, thinking of this, and then I went to the Oscar Peterson, and then I said, well, that would be cool to triplet that. And then I said, well, not just that, that G sounds a little too major-ish. And then that's how I started doing that. So let's see how that would sound. And we're in the shed, right? We're practicing, so we can do all kinds of things. Here we go. And just let it breathe. Kind of find what you like. I'm going to do the Oscar Peterson, and let's see how that would sound, and I'll do triplet on that. I'll first start regular. How about, or how about, I kind of liked it better, so I did. Instead of just this, which I like, and this wild one. Here's that lick. All right, now we're opening another can of worms if you guys want. So I'm holding that top note, right? But I'm still thinking about the blues scale, so that time. Let's do that again. So like that sound. All right, maybe a few people might, if you're still actually here, might be on an overload right now. That's my fault if we are. But I have actually, you've helped me think of a few fun ideas to put in maybe another video. Thank you for the likes. Y'all are awesome. Any questions on any of that? That was kind of fun there. So, I mean, think about what all we did with just C in terms of blues licks right there. Like even that was just tons of stuff. We did this. This tritone started that, we started off with that, and then that morphed into this, and that morphed into this, which morphed into, that's kind of a fast one that would take a little time to get going. And then we did this. Right, I did tritone up to the B flat, the flat 7, which is great sound. And then you could do triplet on that. And then the other thing we did is we said, okay, Oscar Peterson lick. And then we said, well, you could do triplet there, or you can do, which such a nice sound right there. All right, does anybody have any questions about anything we've done? I see we have a few new people coming in. Our goal is to get to 20 likes today. Oh, we're already at 13. Awesome. Like we did yesterday. Before I do a quick recap of the entire thing, I'm going to turn off the track. But let me just, for the sake of thinking about focus practice, just let me work on those little blues lick ideas for a minute. And in the meantime, go ahead and ask any questions you have regarding our practice time, things we've been doing, things that you guys have been doing, and if you have any questions on the group that we have. Now, we got 32 members. We had 2 yesterday, and I'm hoping that we get a couple more today. So I'm going to thank Oscar Peterson for a second. And again, this is blues and jazz. Either one, it doesn't matter. 2 and 3 and 4. And then let's do this. Let's see. Kind of like the triplet there. Get that under my fingers. Or so right here I'm thinking blues scale, first 5 notes, but I'm thinking about that top note, right, to help connect it all. Or you can have the B flat on top. Alright, so then we did this. You can go, or this. Notice that I have that top C, and I'm just going down the blues scale. Alright, let me just kind of recap, mess around with that. Maybe that's a little too busy, but how about Oscar Peterson thing? Maybe that's pretty simple right there. You can go major or minor, but I kind of like the minor sound of that. For this. Okay. That was the first thing. Oscar Peterson. Here we go. Tritone. The wild idea. We'll go up to the second shape, right? All it is the second shape of the blues, right? Like all those notes, right, work. The first time I went to the G, listen. What's up, Guinea G? I'll get that tritone again. 3 and 4. Let's do the Oscar Peterson real chill. Instead of that, which is okay, I like that tritone. Let's do this second shape again. 2 and 3. 2 and 3. And 1, 2, and 3, 4. And then we can go back to some major stuff. All right, let's see. Let me turn off the track. Any questions on anything?